Well, the day's finally come, huh? About a few months after the last one, I already got another big batch of people, and thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. I have to make another special now, so here we are. Yeah, let's do some cool stuff. Alright, let's start off the Q&A by checking on the comments from the community post I made. We're just going to go over everyone. There's only 15, so I'm not worried about it wasting a lot of time. So let's get right into it. The first comment comes from I'm a Smart Cat, and his question is, what was your inspiration of creating Skags? So, majority of the time when people ask this question, they mean his looks. And his looks was heavily based off of Lil Darky's character, who is black and red. He looks like this. This is what he looks like. And you can kind of see heavy inspiration based off of the smile mainly, and the red and dark gray black aesthetic. I thought it looked really cool, so I was like, that's going to be Skags. Next question comes in from Marecare, and they ask, when are you going to move on from Scratch? I'm not sure. I'm sure I will eventually, but for the foreseeable future, I'm sticking with it for a while. I'm not sure when I will, but it'll probably come eventually. The next question is from Snarflaw? I don't know. And he asks, why is your name DK Universe? Well, if you're asking as to why I chose DK Universe, I took my first name, which is Deku, and I took out the vowels being E and U and got DK, and then put Universe because the universe is cool. The next question comes in and says, what do you plan for the future of the channel? Now, I've been thinking about this question, right? So, man, I don't know. I have a few things I want to do. For example, there are going to be some new series coming up pretty soon. I'm going to have a separate section of this video. This is the Q&A section. There's going to be another section where I talk about future stuff. So I guess we'll leave it for there to answer that question. The next two questions are from Baron Aaron, who is the winner of the last Game Jam. Congratulations, by the way. He asked, what was the first video of yours that blew up, got so many views? So the first video that blew up of mine, I think, is still in some of my most popular, probably pretty far down the list now. It was a My Singing Monsters version of Imagine Dragons, Demons, I think. Yeah, I think it was. I think that's what it was. But other than that, the other big one that you can see on the channel now is the Mr. Goodman Super Mario Logan stuff. And if you are asking Scratch-based, what was the first one that blew up? It was my first saving system tutorial, which, fun fact, didn't work. Well, it worked, but everyone had the same password because cloud variable. I didn't quite understand how it worked. Didn't understand how it worked, but still. Second question from Baron Aaron is, what inspired you to make My Guardians? Well, I really like creating comics. I've been doing it for a few years now. I've never actually published a bunch of them super big. I had one comic that I had on Webtoons called Yakudo High, which I stopped creating because the art was terrible. I was making up the story as I went along, and it was drawn in MS Paint. So I dropped that one, and that one went away. There was 17 episodes of it, though, which is kind of crazy. The next one I made was Speciality, which went up to 16 episodes, and while I was making that one, it was also off the top of my head, and I didn't really understand human anatomy too well, so the characters looked really funky. They looked really bad. I didn't understand shading or stuff like that, so I stopped doing that at episode 16. It's being rebooted now in an art style that I'm actually proud of, with a series that I'm actually scripting that still loosely follows the original. My Guardians, well, I have my Skags character, and people were asking me, what's the lore of Skaggs? And he doesn't really have any lore, so I created some, and I didn't want it to just be around him, so I wanted him to have something to do with it. So he's in there, and I really just, his character is heavily inspired off of Ryuk, I think his name is, from Death Note, because I watched Death Note, and then right afterwards I was like, I gotta do something kind of like that, so then I made My Guardians. The next question is from Quincy is Random, and he asks, how did you get started? Well, instead of answering this question, I'm just going to say I have a video about that, a whole entire video of how I got started in Scratch, so definitely go watch it. Next question comes in from FBI. They ask, what comes first, chicken or the egg? The chicken. Next question comes in from Treblon. They say, what in the name of acorns is your profile picture? That is Skags in the wasteland. Next question comes in from Perfect Simon. They say, what is your thoughts of Popcat? If you're Popcat, oh my goodness, not Potcat, that sounds awful. Of Popcat, if you're talking about the little cat that makes the pop noise, that has a whole website on it where you just click him and then a universal counter goes up, he's pretty cool. Next question comes from Hank Hill, who, spoiler alert, if you see him, that's Vance, by the way. He says, who are you? You. And that's all the questions from my community post. Now we move on to the questions from the Discord server, which, by the way, join it. The link in the description. It's pretty cool. So we're going to start off from the last question asked after I said I would be making a video on it. So the first question is from Goro, and they said, why did Skaggs steal Tricky's $30 haircut? You better justify this plagiarism in the best way you possibly can. Well, this was later in that same string corrected by someone that that's not hair. It's horns. He has horns, but yeah. Next question comes from Bro What the Frick, and says, what inspired you to use Scratch and YouTube? Again, I have an entire video about Scratch and what made me want to do YouTube. At the time, a few of my friends were doing it, and I wasn't really good at anything, so I started playing games on it, and nobody was watching it. So, but what we want to do it is it just seemed fun to do as a little side thing, and now it worked out, and now look at this. There's so many people that know me. There's 2,000 of you that know me. 2,000 of you know me. I'll probably never know 2,000 people. That's pretty crazy. Next question comes from Staying017. Said, how long will it take for When the World Ended story mode to come out? Probably quite a bit. It's taken a long time. Way longer than I initially wanted it to, but it's pretty good. By the way, if you don't know When the World Ended is my current newest game at the time of recording, so just go check it out. It's really good. It took me a long time to create. Go check it out right now. Next question comes from Deep Fry, who says, when will you make a game which is unique? In parentheses, no carbon copies of a game with different art. And by that, I'm assuming it relates to the fact that a lot of my games are kind of like versions of other games. For example, When the World Ended is kind of Call of Duty Zombies based. And, you know, what was that other one? Tower Crash is like Legend of Zelda inspired. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of them are really like ununique. Like all of them have their own separate unique kind of things about them. But we'll move on to Deep Fry's second question, which is, when is there going to be a unique game jam? Now that one, I don't really know how to answer that one, because there's no way to create something unique anymore. Uniqueness is gone, originality is gone, everything has been done before. It just depends on how you go about doing it. I just give you a basic topic when it comes to a game jam, and then it depends on the people to create something unique. So there's no real way for me to make something unique when it comes to the game jam, but I'll think about it. Next question comes from Razor. They say, do you take coding Scratch challenges, like coding any type of small game without using custom block and variable and list? I'm assuming, I know this person's first language isn't English. I'm assuming they mean, do I do Scratch challenges or will I do Scratch challenges? I've done one of those in the past before, where I made a Flappy Bird game in an hour. That was pretty fun to do. I'd be willing to do it again. I'd definitely be willing to do it again if that's what you wanted to see. Next question comes from MindLord92. Rat? Squeak. Next question comes from Terry29. And his question is, why did Deku rat Battle Boyfriend? And I don't like Friday Night Funkin' very much, so I'm going to skip that one. Ugh. Next question comes from Novdev. He has quite a few series of questions. I'm going to quick fire them really quick. First question, can you give me your money? I'm poor. Second question, are you bored of Scratch? No, not really. Third question, when are you going to leave Scratch? And are you going to leave Scratch? I am going to leave Scratch eventually. I don't know when, though. Next question. Have you ever watched Over the Garden Wall? No, I haven't. I really want to, though. It seems really good. Next question. Did I ask too many questions? No. Most people... Well, I was about to say most people don't ask enough, but everybody asks one. I don't have enough people to ask questions, but there you go. Next question comes from Cozy Cat, who asks, what originally gave you the idea of Skags, Dias, and Pura? Well, Skags, I already said, was based off of Lil Darky's character, who always looked really dark, and that gave me to the idea of Dia's character, which is the polar opposite of Skags, bad to good, and Pura. I felt there had to be a balance between the two, so I made Pura. And why is Pura look like a human when the other two don't? That's lore-related, and you'll find out in my Guardians. Next question comes from Bagductions. Asks, does pineapple belong on pizza? No. Next question is by Chip Beans. They ask, do you ever plan on learning any coding languages other than Scratch? Yes, I already have begun learning other languages. Will I make videos on those languages? Most likely not, but we'll see what happens. Next question comes from I'm a Smart Cat again. Well, no, it says I'm a Smart Cat in parentheses, not really, so it might not actually be I'm a Smart Cat, but you know how that goes. Asks, what are you going to do? What are you going to use after you're done with Scratch? So, what am I going to use? If you're asking by a coding language, my first idea was to move to Construct 3, but then I was like, well, there's a lot of limitations there, so I was thinking Unity. So it's probably going to be Unity, Construct 3, or Game Maker Studio 2, or 3 when and if it comes out. Next, we have two questions from Airbot. He asks, why do you mostly avoid Fnaf fan games on Scratch? That's his first question, and my answer is because they're very similar in play style, and it's not something that I can easily make entertaining content off of, right? Like, there's not much I can say when the game involves not moving and, you know, doing the same mechanics over and over again. And throughout games, also doing similar mechanics over and over again. There's nothing I can really do to spice up with my commentary there, so I just kind of avoid them in general. Airbot's second question is, would a cube with a mouth and no eyes be an original character for a Scratch platformer? No. No. I don't think a square is a very, you know, original character at all. But Deku, look at your characters. They all look very, very stupid and ugly and boring. Okay, yeah, you're right. That doesn't change the point that they're not original, though. And the last question comes from Kairos, who asks, what is 0 divided by 0?
If you answer incorrectly, we'll have until February 23rd, 2044 at 8:51 p.m. to say your goodbyes.
Well, okay, Kairos, calm down a little bit. But 0 divided by 0 is syntax error. And that's it for the Q&A questions. Now we'll move on to the second part of this video, which is talking about what do I want to do going forward? What's going to change, man? And I'm going to tell you, I have some rough plans for future milestones that I want to get done, and some future stuff for this channel that I want to do, and stuff for other channels I want to do, and I'm just going to take a little bit of time to talk about that. If you were just here for the Q&A, that part's done. You can feel free to leave. But for those of you that want to know what's going to go on, stick around. So, let's talk about future milestones. So, straight off the bat, 5,000 subscribers? I'm thinking face reveal at 5,000. If I am 18 when that happens, chances are that's going to happen. I don't think I'll hit 5K in like under a year. But if I'm not 18, then we're gonna wait till like 6,000 or 10,000 or something like that. But if I'm 18, by the time that I hit 5,000, I'll do face reveal. Why do I want to be 18? Just for privacy reasons and stuff like that. I'm sure you can understand. I'm sure you can get it, man. As well as also maybe setting up the join feature on the channel, or maybe a Patreon or something like that. I don't know what it'd be. I don't know what any reward perks would be. I don't know why anyone would support the garbage I make. But maybe it's a possibility at 5K. I don't know, man. What do you want from me? Now, at 10K is the next thing that I had like an idea for. And my 10K is like, depending on how many like active people there are in the community. Like if I'm 10,000 subscribers, still getting like 100 to 500 views a video, then I'm probably not gonna do it. But if I'm 10,000 hitting like 10,000 views a video, which would be crazy, but if that does end up happening at some point in the future, I'd want to do some merch kind of stuff. Maybe some shirts with some Skags art, or my Guardians art, or speciality art, or those I probably have to blur those because I can't see the name of those stories because I haven't announced them yet, so I'm gonna have to blur those, but you know how that goes. But yeah, just some cool merch that might be fun to see some people sporting around some DK Universe merch. That'd be pretty cool. I just said my name, I never say my actual username. That sounds really weird. That's all I have for milestone planning. But now for some more stuff I want to add to the channel. One thing I want to do is a new kind of like game review style type of video where I make a studio, and the whole point is every once in a while we'll go in there and I'll look at projects, and the whole thing is just gonna be like a try not to laugh thing. You'll make projects that would make me laugh, and you put them in the studio, and I'd go through them, and if you make me laugh, you'd get some kind of prize or something like that. I don't know. And then another one just like that, but for scaring me. If you can legitimately scare me, then you'd also get like a prize or something cool like that. I think that'd be really fun. Something fun for the community to do. Something for when you're bored and you want to make a game but you don't know what to make a game about. You're like, oh, I could throw something into the Try Not to Laugh studio or the Try Scared Me studio. I don't know, man. I think it'd just be something fun to do like that. That's all I have for the special this time around. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because we're gonna come for 3,000 2 months. We can do it. We probably can't do it, but if we could, that'd be really cool. Definitely make it happen. That'd be awesome. Go tell everybody you know to go subscribe to DK Universe. And if they say no, forcefully grab their device and make them do it. And then if they unsubscribe, you just keep doing it to keep that number up. While you're at it, I want to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy my content, it'd help me out a lot. Judging by the fact you're watching a subscriber especially, you're probably subscribed, but again, you know what to do for those people who aren't. Join my Discord, link in the description. That's where I ask people extra questions in case you don't see my community post for the things. Also in our Discord, we have polls, counting. Yeah, counting. I bet that's what you really want to see. You have, chats about Scratch and stuff and all that good kind of stuff and all the fun stuff, and you know how it goes. Also, subscribe to DkGalaxy. It's my gaming channel. Subscribe to my Deku's Dubs accounts where I dub comics. We're currently dubbing Unordinary and I'm the Grim Reaper, so definitely go check that out now. A new episode of I'm the Grim Reaper should be coming up pretty soon now or then. I don't know, man. It takes a bit. And go subscribe to Spellbound TCG. It is my card game channel. Link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I might never find my way, so we'll make the world bleed gray.